Hi everybody, welcome to this edition of the Spartan Sports Report here on TV3. And Sam and I are happy to have a coach from CHS with us, and the coach is the girls soccer coach, right?
That's right.
Mr. Jeff Cooley, welcome.
Well, thank you.
Always glad to have you.
It's always good to be here. Always look forward to it each season.
Well, we have to talk about the Spartans. Didn't do real well Friday night in South Dearborn. I guess that's a good way to say it.
Yeah, but even second half into the third quarter, they were still in that game, but it just fumbles and penalties, and South Dearborn they came to play. I mean, it was their home field. It was homecoming. They had a big crowd, and
Surprised at the score.
yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
32-13.
Yeah.
Our guys never gave up, but we were just having a hard time. I thought they had us scouted pretty well.
Apparently did, right. So it's unfortunate because it would have been an important game in the conference.
Yeah, it sure would have. I guess we're 0-2 in the conference now, having been beaten by Franklin County. And we get to see Rushville this weekend, so we'll see what happens there. When we go over to Henshaw Field, they're always ready for us, it seems like, and it is truly the war on 44.
Jeff, what's a rivalry game mean? Rushville and Connersville, of course, are rivals, and does that add to the teams?
Oh, I think so, yeah, for sure. I think it adds that little extra to a little motivation, a little extra oomph to beat your rival, for sure.
Have you been in rival games?
Oh, yeah, for sure. We've been in some rivalry games.
Count them, huh?
Yeah, a lot. I kind of think, Richmond's kind of a rival soccer-wise for us.
Yes.
And we always get a little bit more motivation when we play them. Fortunately, the last few years, girls soccer-wise, we've been able to beat them. So I guess we're on the plus side in that rivalry for the last few years.
Good. How's the team doing, the girls soccer team at CHS?
We're doing okay. We're 4-4. We lost, of course, a lot of seniors from last year, and we're just starting now. We're about halfway through the season. We're kind of figuring out what we are, I guess, because we had to replace a lot of girls from last year, but we're doing okay.
You had a pretty good JV team, though, to build from.
Yeah, we did. We did, and those girls stepped up and stepped in. You always try to have some backups ready, and you get them some playing time. And
Sure.
yeah, we're getting there. I like the way we're going.
Halfway through the season, you play a lot of games.
Yeah, we play 16. We're 4-4, so we're actually exactly halfway.
8 on the mark, right?
Yep, 8 on the mark. Yeah, 16, and then we play the sectional.
What's coming up on your?
We had a real busy schedule. This week we play Tuesday at Shelbyville, a JV and a varsity game. We play Crystal House Academy in Indianapolis on Wednesday, and then Anderson comes here on Thursday.
Wow.
We're off. Well, we'll practice Friday, off Saturday. Monday we play Centerville. Tuesday will be a yoga day. Wednesday we play Knightstown. Then Thursday we play Lawrenceburg. So we play in the next 8-9 days. We play 6 matches.
And these kids have to have a lot of homework too to take care of.
They do. They're good about that, though. They share, and I might get this wrong, hot spots. They told me, I got this hot spot, Coach Cooley. That's great, whatever that meant. But they get their homework done a lot on the bus. And, that's part of it. You got to be a student athlete. I mean, it's students first, athletes second.
Sure.
So you got to get that homework done. You got to keep your academics up. And my girls are great about that. They really are.
Did you ever get Sam to come to a ball game?
Sam did last year.
All right.
Yeah, he did. He came and sat, and Franklin County happened to be about 45 minutes late. But so yeah, I think I don't know that I changed his mind, but he at least was exposed to the beautiful game.
I was privileged to sit on the bench.
And he has an open invitation whenever he wants. He can come any home mat. Heck, if you want to be on the road, anytime.
I may surprise you.
You're welcome. I'd love to have it.
He calls girls soccer, it should be football.
It is
in
football.
his opinion, but in European terms, where it came from,
Yes, that is the real football. There's American football, and then there's football.
Right.
Yeah, we play football.
And it's loved around the world. So
The most popular sport in the world by far.
Can you tell us why?
Well, just so many. I mean, countries. I mean, it's their national sport.
Every country has.
seems like.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't quote that
Try
as
to-
factual, but there are professional leagues all over the world. There are from youth to pros all over the world. It's just something that the world has embraced, and we're just kind of now getting into it, really,
Yes.
in America.
It hasn't been too long that America has been participating in soccer.
Yeah, not to the extent like Europe or even South America does, but I think we're catching up.
Yeah, we have some good teams in America now.
Yeah, for sure. The U.S. national teams are good. I mean, our women didn't do so well at this World Cup, but in the past have done well, and our men are upcoming. So, yeah, I think soccer's on the rise.
Cincinnati recently became a soccer
Yeah,
home.
FC Cincinnati is now in the MLS. They're actually leading the East. So they were not very good last year, and now they're in first place in the East. So it is really popular. A lot of kids around here, a lot of adults too, will go down. Cincinnati's not that far, and they'll go down
Yes.
to TQL Stadium and watch FC Cincinnati.
And on the local scene, it's popular with elementary kids on up.
Oh, for sure. If you've ever driven down Veterans Memorial there.
Try to get through Memorial,
Yeah,
Veterans Memorial Drive
yeah,
on a Saturday.
on a Saturday morning, there are a ton.
they could use some more parking.
They could use some more parking. Yeah, they could. But that's the popularity of it. The little kids they really love it and embrace it. And there's hundreds of kids down there every Saturday.
You told me footwork is the important thing in soccer.
Absolutely. You have to have fundamental footwork skills. You got to be able to make the ball do what you want the ball to do. It's like in basketball, you got to be able to dribble and shoot. In soccer, it's the same thing, but you're dribbling with your feet and you're shooting with your feet.
It sounds difficult.
It's a very difficult skill. When you watch the professionals do it, it looks like it's second nature.
Yes.
Trust me, it isn't. It's a very difficult thing to do. That's why they call it the beautiful game. It's a very difficult thing to do, to manipulate the ball with your feet and make it go where you want. So when it comes off like a nice shot or a good pass, it's a beautiful thing to me.
That's good that you enjoy it.
Yeah, for sure. I watch a lot of soccer.
The kids that play it seem to really enjoy it. Those that
It's, I think one of the biggest things about soccer is anybody can play it at any level. There are 11 kids or people on the pitch, and there's probably a spot for everybody. You don't necessarily have to be the fastest. You don't necessarily have to be the most athletic. Positioning yourself comes into play. Knowledge of the game to make sure that you're where you are, where you need to be, it comes into play. So I think that it's kind of an inclusive game. Like anybody can play it.
Explain some of the penalties. These guys on the sidelines are waving flags all the time. And what does it mean?
Well, those guys on the sidelines are called ARs, or assistant referees.
Okay.
They call any kind of penalty, a trip, a push, a handball, offsides. They help the center official see things that he can't. The center official run in a diagonal, and he has two assistants who kind of take care of the corners. So they'll flag for any kind of offense, and that they're like they're his assistants. So those are some of them.
That's interesting. I was wondering what all this means, these gyrations going on the sideline.
Yeah, that means usually that there's been a foul.
And after so many fouls, do you leave the ball game?
No, it's not really like basketball and such. You can accumulate more than 5 fouls and you're not disqualified, but they call it accumulation. So if the referee sees that you fouled 3, 4, 5 times, he'll probably warn you, and then the next time you'll get a yellow card, which is a sort of like a policeman writing you a ticket. There's a
Okay.
ticket. Then if it persists, then the red card is the next step, which then you're out. Fortunately, I have not had many of those over the years, which is good.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
We talked about your varsity team, 4-4. What the JV team?
They are 2. I think they're 2-2 actually. Yeah, I think they've won 2, they got beaten 2, and they've tied 2. I believe that's their record. Yeah.
So they play comparable schedules.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of teams will have a varsity and a JV. So like tomorrow night, we're going to Shelbyville to play. So the JV will play a match first, very much like basketball. JV will play first, and then the varsity will play. And a lot of teams will have a JV and a varsity. So we do a doubleheader a lot.
Well, that's important. You have the youngsters coming up to take the place of graduates.
Yeah, they need that experience
Can-
for sure.
Can the JV players, if they played in the first game, if you need them for the second game?
You can
but
play
how many minutes?
3 halves. You can play 3 halves a night. So
Okay.
I could play a JV girl the whole game in JV, and then I need her for a minute in a varsity half. I can play her a minute, or I can play her the whole half. You can play 3 halves a night.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like, I'm assuming you still get 5 quarters in basketball. Yeah, it's sort of like that, but you get 3 halves.
And the clock goes the other direction? Doesn't count down to 0? Or
In high school, it does. In high school,
Okay.
it counts down. In the professional ranks, it counts up. There's no added time in high school. They'll stop the clock on certain things. In the professional leagues, it counts up, and they don't stop it. They'll just add time at the end.
Okay.
Yeah, but they don't do that in high school. They count down.
All right.
Is there a reason why for that?
I'm sure there is, but I couldn't tell you, Fran. I don't know.
I'm wondering who
know.
came up with that idea. That up once and down the other.
I do not know.
I think that would be a good job for you to do in research.
So next
Yes.
year, I'll research that and get back.
You haven't answered that important question yet.
I will. I'll get on that.
Do you know, are there any recreational leagues for adults around here?
I don't know about adults because I don't really deal with that. But I know that there are travel teams for youth, and when we're not playing, like in the spring, some of my girls play like in Union County for a travel team. I'm not sure if adults.
I know
there's
that
an adult league or not.
Before I quit working, there were some people, some Hispanic men that were working in town that would get together and play from where I worked, and they would play sometimes the guys from the Mexican restaurant and that type of thing.
Okay.
So
I don't. Yeah, I can't speak to that. I don't know if there's actual leagues anywhere. I'm sure if you went to Indy, there would be adult leagues. I don't know around here though.
Well, with the growing popularity of it, that kids get out of school and they still want to play, it would make sense.
Yeah,
You know, like the industrial softball leagues and things that we've had around here for years.
Right, for sure.
Some basketball. I got some friends my age and younger that still play basketball.
Yeah. I'm sure if somebody would want to organize that, there'd probably be enough to play. So.
I'm a little surprised maybe the hospital or someplace like that that's into health and wanting people to become active would start something like that.
I don't know. Yeah, that's.
So your middle school, is that club sport now? Or
Yeah, no, well, it's sort of in between here. It is a club sport, but this is the first year to have a middle school team. We have a boys team, we have a girls team. It's sort of in limbo, I guess you'd say. Next year, we're hoping to pay the coaches and hoping to kind of make it official. We have, I think, both the boys team and the girls team have 19 kids, which is a good start. It's certainly going to help my program. There are, there are several girls that are going to be freshmen next year that I'm hoping will just come, starting over the summer, go with me, and they've already got Coach Brooks, Lindsey Brooks and John Brooks are the coaches, have already, taught them the fundamentals, and they come to practice with us occasionally and kind of integrate them. So yeah, the middle school program's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great help.
That's got to help you.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
They already know the drills and the things, the expectations, and hopefully it'll just slide right on into the high school program.
Who helps you coach?
Well, Lindsay and John Brooks coach the middle school.
Right.
Zach Morgan is my assistant. He's been with me for 6 or 7 years now, and that's it. We're not a huge program. Not like basketball, we have several guys, but Zach's a great kid. He, well, I shouldn't say kid now. He's almost 30, but he's a great guy.
That's a kid, right?
Knows, yeah, that's a kid. Right. He's done a great job. He coaches mostly the JV girls and tries to get them ready to be varsity girls.
Great.
We talked briefly earlier about the ball game with South Dearborn, and Channel 3 was there, so let's review some of the highlights from the game Friday night.
Lots of enthusiasm down there. Of course, homecoming. Down in front of me, they kept, there were kids that had a bubble machine or something. I was waiting for Lawrence Welk to come, but I said most people wouldn't even know who that was. But South Dearborn scores first, and they went for the 2-point conversion every time and only made it once. I suppose that their kicker must not have, they didn't have a lot of confidence in him because they went for the 2 points. And that helped keep us in for a while. There we go in for a score to make it 12-6. And start of the third quarter there, or midway through the third quarter, we're down 5 points. We're still in this game. But the wheels seemed to come off, and there was a pass into the end zone by the Knights and extended that lead to 11. And even at that, we're still in this game with about a minute and a half to play there in the third. But there is Micah, and you get him an opening and he can go, and he takes it into the house. But that would be our last time we scored there, and made it 13. So in fourth quarter, the Knights put it out of reach here, and they take it in for the score, and we end up final 32-13. There are the bubbles going up. So they were in their victory formation, and unfortunately the Spartans fall to South Dearborn, and we had not won against South Dearborn since 2016. So the losing streak to them continues. And
yes.
It used to be a game that we were thinking we could always win, but they've gotten much better. And football in American football in Dearborn County is pretty big when you look at South Dearborn, Lawrenceburg, and East Central.
Yeah, close to Ohio, they some of their Ohio football rubs off on I think the Connersville kids or the local kids.
They like looking at Channel 5 and getting their face on Channel 5.
Well, we'll get them in basketball and probably girls soccer. Okay.
We'll see.
Okay.
We'll do our best.
You're not going to make a commitment there?
I won't make a commitment.
Okay,
I won't make a commitment.
We'll let you get by with that.
Are the sectional teams, are they pretty much our conference, like in other sports?
Not anymore. It changed last year. It used to be, pretty much. It was us from Lawrenceburg, South Dearborn, Franklin County. I mean, last year, I guess, this is the second year for it, we now go to the south side of Indy. So we have us, Rushville, Beech Grove, Indianapolis Heron, Indianapolis Shortridge, Indianapolis Crystal House. So it's all just inside the 465 belt. So when they realigned, we were far enough north, they took us this way. Centerville came in, I believe Centerville went this way.
That doesn't make any sense. A lot of things, though.
Well, a lot of things don't make sense, yeah, but
So how many classes? 3?
yeah, just 3 in soccer, 3A. We're actually 2A in soccer. We're not one of the big schools in soccer. Girls soccer, boys soccer is 3A. Just how the numbers broke down.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
You might check the schedule for this week at CHS Sports. On Monday, the boys tennis team will be at Newcastle. Girls golf will be with Union County, Franklin County. JV football is home with South Dearborn. Volleyball will be at Centerville. On Tuesday, boys soccer home with Knightstown. Girls soccer will be at Shelbyville, as Jeff was talking about. On Wednesday, boys tennis will be at Rushville. Volleyball at Franklin County. Girls soccer at Crystal House in Indy. On Thursday, boys soccer will be at Richmond. Girls soccer will be at Anderson. You don't get any breath here, Jim. Or Jeff, you're going to
no. We have 3. Yeah, we have 3 3 matches this week.
I mean, I'm running out of words to say here. You play so often.
We do.
Friday, Spartan football, of course, will be at Rushville, the big annual game between those two. On Saturday, co-ed cross-country meet will be at Riverview Health. I am assuming that's in Richmond. Is it?
It's in Mississinawa.
Oh, okay. Girls golf section will be underway. The boys soccer team will be home with Franklin County. The volleyball will be home with South Dearborn. We might check some of the scores in area games. Rushville is 0-4. They lost 56-10 to Batesville. Franklin County is 2-2. They lost 55-0 to East Central.
Wow.
Cambridge City will be 1-3. They lost 81-6 to Hagerstown. Centerville 4-0. They won 24-20 over Winchester. Union County is 0-4. They lost 48-0 to Indian Creek. Richmond is 0-4. They lost 36-0 to Lafayette Jeff. So a lot of wide scores.
Yeah, and you think, they're running clock, the running clock rule. And
that's right.
Some of those had to be the whole second half.
Instead of halftime.
Yeah, that's something, 81-6. And then East Central just putting it all over Franklin
55,
County.
I mean.
Yeah, we get to see East Central. We're on the road this week to Rushville, then we've got Speedway homecoming, and then the week after that we'll be at East Central. So
I think East Central kids ought to play with one game behind their back, or one
arm behind their back. They, if they have much success this year, they may move up a class due to success factor. I would think
that wouldn't hurt. That would be good.
Yeah, but we still have to see them in the conference.
That's true, right? Unless we change the conference rules, so we might do that. We don't have anything else.
Yeah, I think they probably, if there were other bigger teams close, that they would probably rather be in or be playing in Cincinnati with all the Cincinnati
that
schools.
Probably would work, right?
Yeah.
Right. Wonder how many kids they'll have this time. They usually have 100.
Usually have 100 on the. Yeah, they double up on a lot of numbers.
Yeah.
Well, they have duplicate numbers, and that's a nightmare for somebody trying to describe the ball game.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
But it is what it is.
That's true. That's true. You go out and play, and you do the best you can.
Well, like I say,
and our kids
good
never hang their heads. They just keep
basketball.
playing.
There you go.
And in girls soccer.
We'll see.
Are you good?
Yeah, we already played East Central.
We're back to that again, Jeff.
No, we've already played East Central. We did not get them in girls soccer, but there's always next year, Fran.
Okay.
Jeff joining the boys basketball program again this season, which I think is a good thing. And we'll be glad to see his smiling face at the Spartan Bowl.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back. It's been a while, but I thought it was time to go get back in. See, I've always enjoyed it, so I'm sure it won't change.
When were you a Spartan basketball coach? What years?
20 years. I went 95 to whenever Kerry Brown came, 2000.
About 14 years ago.
14 maybe, yeah.
About 14 years ago, wasn't it?
Okay,
13
yeah,
years
so-
ago.
A while ago, late 90s, early 2000s.
Okay. And what
still.
team did you coach?
I coached, started in middle school and worked my way up. I coached JV for 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Under some good coaches, some fun fun times.
Well, let's see, who did I coach with? I started with Scott Hetty, then Howard Renner.
Howard Renner was a hoot.
Yeah, Howard Renner was. Rodney Klein I finished out with. Now interested to see Coach McCullough, how he does. I'm sure he'll do great.
I'm sure he will. Third winningest active coach in the state. So.
Yeah, yep.
And it's going to be different, though. It's going to be a different style. But,
it probably will be a different style. I mean, every coach has a different style, a different philosophy. The different ways to skin a cat, I guess they say.
That's right. And that's what makes it fun.
That's what makes it fun.
Dave's been very successful.
Always, yeah. Very successful, like 70% winning percentage.
And the third longest
Third winningest
winning. Okay.
active coach.
Years ago, when we were in the Olympic conference and we'd play Noblesville, he was actually, we actually coached against each other, I guess you'd say. Well, he was varsity and I was on the staff, I guess. But yeah, so I mean, we've coached against each other a few times.
And so he's very familiar with Connorsville, and I had him on the radio a couple weeks ago, and the tradition, and nothing new to him. And he's been in some good places. I mean, at Shenandoah, and that's a pretty good program up there as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Shenandoah. I think last year he's at Frankfurt. Of course, spent a lot of time at Noblesville. Yeah, should be interesting.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be back in it.
I
How
think.
closely do you work?
I think it's 72 days before it.
You think it's 72
I think
days?
72 days before the first game.
Okay,
Okay.
well, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
The girls
Something like that.
Earlier than
Maybe
that.
74 days.
Okay.
So looking forward to it?
Always, aren't you?
Sure.
Yeah.
Right. Indoor sports, very good. No offense, Jeff.
Oh, I understand. It can get a little here. I'm sure this week and next and into sectional time, you can get some very bad weather. We've played in spitting snow and cold rain, and
Oh, gee, don't mention it.
yeah, it's coming.
But it can happen.
It can happen.
Where do we go for sectional?
Beach Grove. Yeah,
Okay.
we go. It's October 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 7th, I guess. Last year we got a bye. Of course, we don't know what the draw is this year, but last year we didn't play till Thursday. You could play as early as Monday, as late as Thursday.
Would you prefer to have the bye, or? Just,
Not really, honestly. I'd rather play. I think it keeps you in a rhythm. And I know it's one more game, but if you're gonna win, you might as well win 3 games.
and you know who to prepare for in that first game. You don't.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, you do.
If you got the bye, you got to prepare for 2 teams.
Very true. Very true. So yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind playing all 3.
What are the locations of the tournament following the sectional? Where's the regional?
Well, the regional depends on. Well, they haven't drawn yet, so the regional will depend on what sectionals are paired,
Okay.
and then one team will host. Like last year, we had to go to Lawrenceburg. We won the sectional last year. We had to go to Lawrenceburg. Now, I don't know yet what that's going to be. We could theoretically host, but I don't know yet.
That'd be excellent.
I'm already giving us the sectional, aren't I?
Sounds good.
That's
That
all right.
sounds good. That's good.
I
Positive.
like that. Yeah.
That's a good idea. We'll do that. Yeah.
Okay.
That's right. We could handle the crowd.
Sure, we can handle the crowd.
Sure.
Oh yeah, we got lights. We got nice. We have one of the nicest fields that we play on. We really
It is
do.
very nice,
It's
yes,
very nice.
yes.
Lights are great. Field is good. I love being at home.
Parking right there.
Parking
close by.
right there. 2 lots.
Jeff, thanks for joining us here on the
Well,
Spartan
thanks for
Sports
having me.
Report. It's always great to talk Spartan sports with you.
I
We
like
appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Thanks everybody for watching the Spartan Sports Report.